Hello and welcome to the first of several of these shorter segments of the Reviewing Network Live that we're doing here. I said earlier on in the State of the Reviewing Network address, I wanted to do kind of a daily news show here, especially for weeks when we're doing the Sunday Night NFL Rewatches. As I said before, we're doing 4 consecutive weeks starting this week, so if there was any big news stories coming up in the next month, I do these shorter videos, and sure enough, we have our first big news story of this sort of new thing we're doing here, and that's that Warner Brothers Discovery has received interest from multiple parties for all or part of the company. So essentially, David Zaslav is basically saying that yes, Warner Brothers is for sale. I've got the story here from Deadline Hollywood. It says, game on. With Warner Brothers Discovery in play and set to split in half next year, the company said Tuesday that it's received unsolicited interest from multiple parties for the entire company, as well as for Warner Brothers, which is also launching a review of strategical alternatives. The statement by the WBD Board of Directors follows an initial overture by David Ellison's Paramount Skydance for WBD, ahead of a planned separation of the fast-growing streaming and studios operation to be called Warner Brothers from the more challenged linear television business Discovery Global, creating 2 standalone public companies. The Ellison camp's offer was rebuffed as too low amid speculations that giants from Apple to Comcast to Netflix might jump in pre-split or make a play for a solo Warner Brothers afterward. Netflix said recently that a deal on its part is unlikely. Hollywood studios are rare commodities, not often for sale. It's been an unusual moment for the industry, with one having just changed hands in August and another now formally on the block. It's no surprise that the significant value of our portfolio is receiving increased recognition by others in the market, says WBD CEO David Zaslav. After receiving interest from multiple parties, we have initiated a comprehensive review of strategical alternatives to identify the best path forward to unlock the full value of our assets. Warner's also said today it will continue to pursue a split for a mid-2026 timeframe as it considers offers. As part of the review, it was also considered an alternative separation structure that would enable a merger of Warner Brothers and spinoff of Discovery Global to shareholders. WBD's goal is the maneuver was always to enhance the value of its studios and streaming assets as a standalone business, untethered to cable networks where viewership has been steadily dwindling. Zaslav is following Comcast's playbook, with the NBC Universal parent set to spin off most of its cable networks early next year into a new standalone company called Versant. Further consolidation in the cable industry is seen as inevitable. WBD shares are up about 9% this morning to near $20 on the news. Gauging interest or lack thereof at WBD will likely be a feature of CEO Q&As on conference calls this month as next as media companies kick off earnings seasons, with Netflix first up this afternoon. And they have a full statement here. I'm not going to really delve into this because there's nothing really significant in here. But, the rumors have been for a while now that Warner Brothers will eventually sell to a bigger studio. Paramount, we talked about that on the show earlier. And now we have Warner Brothers fully saying that, yes, we are for sale. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. And, you hear Comcast, Apple, Netflix possibly coming in here to take control of Warner Brothers here. And if we're being honest, Warner Brothers and Paramount would sound like a cool idea because you have Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network coming together, but at the same time, it's Paramount. Did you see what they just did to people like Stephen Colbert? And considering that Warner Brothers has John Oliver, and John Oliver is a big negative Trump person, more than likely it would probably be best if Warner Brothers decides not to go down that pathway with Paramount. But then again, I'm not making the decision at Warner Brothers because, trust me, I could run the company better than David Zaslav can, let's be honest. But if this actually does happen, it would probably be better if it goes to somebody like an Apple or Netflix or hell, even Comcast. I think Universal could probably do a better job of Warner Brothers. Let's be honest, they have pretty much a lot of Warner Brothers properties on their docket because they have the Harry Potter licensing with Universal's theme parks, and not to mention both Universal and Warner Brothers release movies through the same distribution company on Blu-rays on physical media. Studio Distribution Services is a conjunction of Warner Brothers and Universal, so if they're going to sell to anybody, it would probably make a lot of sense for Comcast to do it. But again, this is still way too early to tell on what's going to happen with it, but they put the news out there today that they are indeed for sale, so we will see how this pans out over the next couple of months, but it never ends. It never ends. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all if somebody tries to buy Disney at this point. I mean, hey, Comcast tried to buy Disney 20 years ago, and that changed the game for Disney, where they had to get rid of Michael Eisner because of the potential takeover. But But again, we'll see what happens. We'll keep you up to date on it, and if we get any news, we'll let you know here on the Reviewing Network Live. And like I said, any big developing news stories or big news stories I want to talk about, they'll be in these short videos here over the next month. So, if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.